And we're back at the table with this week's Line Opinion panelists. Our final topic for the week is a data center for Facebook that is proposed in Los Lunas. The proposal is scheduled for a public hearing before the Public Regulation Commission next Tuesday. Facebook has not only been considering Los Lunas, but also West Jordan, Utah, for its new $250 million data center. That's according to reports in local media. Harry, this center, it's hard to kind of put this into context. A big boost for the state in a lot of ways. Big nameplate, certainly. We're in the data center game. That's a big, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's other issues. There's water. There's energy. Let's start with energy. PNM's in the game here. You got to run these things somehow. What's in this for PNM and what's in this for local ratepayers and all that kind of thing?
Well, I think that's an interesting question because it doesn't seem like PNM has always been on board with solar, and now PNM is really willing to stick its neck out in order to provide solar for Facebook.
That's right.
There just seem to be a lot of unanswered questions, with this whole proposal. So the data hosting company is called Greater Kudu LLC, which sounds like, I don't know, the company that built the Death Star or something like that.
Right.
But there's a lot that's missing in terms of water. I mean, you've got a lot of folks on the solar side saying, well, why isn't PNM looking to other folks to sell solar into the grid?
Right. Interesting. Janice, also the idea that you could have something so huge, it doesn't take a lot of people to run a data center, but that kind of energy and water, this is something we're going to have to deal with, because if we want big companies to come here and do big things and hire lots of people, they're going to use a lot of water and for a lot of situations. That tension is going to be difficult. How do you see this?
I think looking at a data center, there are three things that have to come into play. One is baseload power, and so is this a location where they can get baseload? And with some of the changes, there's a suit coming up to force PNM out of Palo Verde, which is baseload. Solar is really good, and it's a great, huge array, but it still doesn't cover the baseload. So they're going to think about baseload. They have to have water, and they have to have access to the internet connectivity. And it turns out that the location that they're looking at, I believe that there is the nexus for all three of those things. And again, we're not ever standing still. As they are cooling data centers, they've figured out how to cut fans so that they are not as noisy and they're more efficient, so you're using less water. So I think the water is probably more malleable than everything else. So we've got the two other components. So how likely are we to get this? This would be a great thing for New Mexico. And the one thing we have to sell is we have space. We have space to do
That's
this.
right. And
sunshine.
Senator, sunshine and solid, when I say solid ground, solid ground. These people cannot set up places where there's a lot of earth moving around. It just doesn't work that way. But I'm going to ask the same question about the tensions between what we can supply companies of this size, what they can demand when you're the size of Facebook, and get pretty much anything you want. Water, electricity, fair trade for just a few jobs in Los Lunas?
Just talking about solid ground, they have a seismic activity down there.
Now that you say that, that's right.
Valencia County.
You're right, don't let Facebook know, right?
But I think it's a really great, a great form of economic development for New Mexico, and I'm really in support of the PNM deal. And Facebook, remember, their criteria is they want 100% of their power from renewables. Well, what other company says that? And they're saying the same thing to Utah. So this is a kind of growth I think that we want, because this will, and PNM has gone along with it, because in some ways they can sell the power that they are going to be getting from this solar farm. It'll be a huge solar farm. It won't necessarily be by the factory.
That's right.
And the photovoltaics will not necessarily be made in New Mexico, because we don't have any capability to do it here, but they will be installed and they will be serviced, and the racks will come from New Mexico, which is all jobs for New Mexicans.
A lot of cabling.
And
all that
also
stuff,
it may prevent PNM from having to build another plant, another gas-fired plant to service its peak load, because now it will have, and it's starting out with 30 megs of solar, and it may grow to 100, and that will really help.
There's no doubt it has to at some point. Let me go back to water for a quick sec. Not that we're hung up on this, but I forgot to lay down the number. The Utah folks say it's going to take 5.3 million gallons a day to cool these places. The New Mexico folks are saying substantially less. That's the deal. Let's say it's 3 million a day. Is that a fair trade? That's a lot of water. Okay.
It is, but here's the thing, and I pose this to you as someone who doesn't know the answer, Gene.
Okay.
So it's not a trick question.
Sure.
We don't have a water problem in New Mexico. We have a potable water problem in New Mexico. We have brine water everywhere. We have water that's not usable for the sake of us drinking it.
That's right.
But we have water. So the potential for us to say, well, we don't have this water, we could tap into water that's non-drinkable water and utilize that water potentially to offset what's going on here. And in some cases, that water being used through a system like this could actually increase the water that goes into the Rio Grande because you're utilizing it through a process that's cleaning it and purifying it or getting rid of some of the arsenic or getting rid of some of the other impurities in the water. Then it could be dumped into the river, and this could give us an opportunity to say, hey, we're going to do something with water that we really have no use for, because if we just try to desalinate it, what do you do with 10,000 pounds a day of salt that are created?
Right. That's right.
So
Good
there's,
point there.
there's a real opportunity for us to address that. We got to remember, Gene, it is a big investment. It could be a big investment on New Mexico's side as well.
Right.
But, we've got to start looking big at, companies that have proven themselves, whether you like or dislike Facebook, whether you like or dislike the owner, Mark Zuckerberg, whatever his name is, they're a proven entity. They're talking about 30 to 50 full-time jobs to start, with hundreds more, talking about 200 construction jobs in a place like Los Lunas. Los Lunas isn't Rio Rancho, it's not Albuquerque. 50 jobs in Los Lunas is a big deal.
And well-paying.
Well-paying jobs, 200 jobs over the time, 200 jobs. You're going to see people being able to commute from Albuquerque to get these jobs. And I also believe that there's a ripple effect. When you bring in these types of folks, other people, Facebook has to have subcontractors that they're using to do things that are going to follow along. And then this leads to more people that want to get to college, more people with education, higher. So, at the end of the day, I don't know how it's a lose for us, other than, it just again highlights that, we have a real problem in New Mexico of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Right, exactly. Harry, we're down to less than a minute. Good stuff there, though. It sounds like at the end of the day, it's all worth it, right? I mean, it's Facebook.
Right.
It's the company of the moment.
Right.
When we look back 100 years from now, it's going to be about Facebook, defined America and the world.
There's no MySpace. That's
Well, there you go. But I ask again, the trade is okay.
Right.
If
the trade is okay, if we really look at the data, I think the trade is okay, but I think there does need to be a little bit more transparency there. But think about this story that we talked about in the very beginning. We talked about drug issues among teens in New Mexico. So often when New Mexico is in the news, it's in the news for something bad.
Right.
This is an opportunity to rebrand the state, in a good way.
HVB, love you. Good stuff. How are you feeling about school starting here in a week or so? You ready?
No.
That's the final word. That's all the time we have. Thank you for being here this week. Thanks, guys. Good stuff. I'm Gene Grant. Thanks for joining us this week for New Mexico in Focus. And as always, we appreciate your time and effort to stay informed and engaged. We'll see you next week in Focus.
Funding for New Mexico in Focus provided by the McCune Charitable Foundation and the Nalita E. Walker Fund for KNME-TV, the KNME-TV Endowment Fund, and viewers like you.